Good morning. We're doing a short trip from Lake Tekapo to Hooker Valley Track in Aoraki, Mueller National Park. This drive is considered the most beautiful in New Zealand, with stunning glacier lakes, dramatic mountain views, and unforgettable scenery at almost every corner. The journey is just as spectacular as the destination. Give yourself plenty of time to stop at the many sites, and you'll see one of the most beautiful lake and mountain views in the world. This is Lake Pukaki. Its brilliant blue color comes from glacial settlements. But what makes this place special is if you look straight down, you can see New Zealand's highest mountain, Aoraki Mountain. At this stop on a clear day, you should be able to see the reflections of the mountain on the lake. Next, the Glentanner Lookout, one of the best views along the route. This lookout offers sweeping views from Mackenzie Basin, where glaciers, rivers and mountains have shaped landscape over thousands of years. On a clear day, Aoraki Mountain dominates the skyline, standing 3,724 meters. Many visitors stop here to capture the most iconic photograph of the road leading to Aoraki Mountain. This stretch of road, State Highway 80, is often called Mountain Road. Throughout the drive, Mountain remains perfectly in the center of the road, which creates one of the most dramatic approaches to any national park in the world. This drive is one of the rare places where the journey itself becomes part of the destination. We passed Mountain Village. We were in a hurry to get to Hooker Valley to start walking, so we didn't do any videos of the Mountain Village, but it's quite interesting. There is a museum and there is a cafe and a couple of accommodation options around that area, which makes it a very convenient stop for those who like to spend the night. Those who like stargazing will find this place quite beautiful at night, with a clear view of the skies and no light pollution. We stopped at the White Horse Hill Carpark, which was really full at midday. An incentive to stay overnight at the village so you can start early. As this sign indicates, the Hooker Valley track is only partially open. The second suspension bridge was closed following a significant riverbank erosion in 2025. They are building a new bridge which will be ready in July 2026. Check the DOC website to make sure that the bridge is open if you want to do the full track. Hooker Valley Track is one of the most famous day hikes in New Zealand. The full return walk is about 10 kilometers and typically takes about 3 to 4 hours, following a very well-maintained gravel track through the heart of Aoraki Mountain National Park. When planning this trip, we were a little disappointed to learn that the famous Hooker Valley track was only partially open. But rather than skipping the area altogether, we decided to come anyway. After all, the journey through Lake Pukaki, the views of the Aoraki Mountain, and the chance to experience the incredible Alpine landscape is still very much worth the trip. This is the Mueller Lake Lookout, and you can see the Mueller Lake, a glacier-fed lake formed by retreat of the Mueller Glacier over the past century. This directly stands ahead of Mount Sefton, whose steep cliffs and hanging glaciers dominate the west side of this valley. During warmer months, you can actually see waterfalls cascading down the mountainside, fed by melting snow and ice. It can get a bit windy here, so bring your windbreakers even in summer, and also remember your sunblock. When we got to the first suspension bridge, we could see the waters of Mueller Lake and the remnants of the Mueller Glacier. Below us, Hooker River carries glacier meltwater through the valley, and above us, Mount Sefton towers over the scene with its dramatic ice falls off sheer rock faces. The combination of glacier water flowing rapidly across the landscape, towering mountains and sheer scale of the valley makes this one of the places where photos simply don't do it justice. Around every corner, we were greeted by breathtaking views, majestic mountains rising around us and rushing waters of the Hooker River below, and snow-capped peaks standing proudly against the sky. Editing this video was challenging as we felt we could not do justice to the majestic mountains and beauty of this land. We crossed the first bridge, and this is usually where people will turn around further up ahead. The first bridge actually crosses the river near Lake Mueller and offers an impressive view towards Mount Sefton and the surrounding glacial landscape. The second bridge traditionally provided a dramatic perspective deeper into the valley, with Aoraki Mount Cook becoming more prominent as you progress along the track. The third and final bridge crossing the river, and you can see Hooker Lake leading to the famous viewpoint overlooking the lake, floating icebergs, Hooker Glacier, and an unobstructed view of Aoraki Mount Cook at the head of the valley. We climbed up the next lookout, and that was almost as far as we could go, given that the second bridge was in construction. No floating icebergs here, but the views of the beautiful lake and majestic mountains were really spectacular. On our way back, we make a brief stop at the Alpine Memorial, located near White Horse Hill Carpark. This simple stone memorial pays tribute to the climbers, guides and adventurers who lost their lives in New Zealand's mountains. Since the early days of mountaineering, Aoraki Mount Cook has attracted explorers from around the world, drawn by the challenge and beauty of these alpine peaks. From this vantage point, visitors are treated to stunning views of surrounding mountains, creating a fitting place for reflection amidst some of New Zealand's most dramatic scenery. The Alpine Memorial reminds us that these landscapes are both beautiful and powerful. Standing there, surrounded by mountains that have inspired generations of climbers, it's hard not to feel a sense of humility. We leave Aoraki behind and begin our journey back to Lake Tekapo, carrying beautiful memories. On our way back, we stop at the Lake Pukaki Visitor Center, and just beside it is the Mount Cook Alpine Salmon shop. The shop closes at 5, so if you want your fresh salmon, you gotta get there early. This is the freshwater king salmon, which was super yummy and juicy. In our last video, we featured High Country Salmon, whose cafe had a wider variety and a full kitchen service. But the attraction of this spot is not only the fresh, juicy salmon. It is the beautiful surroundings. We sat at the picnic table in front of Lake Pukaki, and you can see the crystal clear waters surrounded by beautiful, majestic mountains. As the sun set at our accommodation, at the end of the day, we were really thankful to have made this trip. Although we weren't able to complete the full Hooker Valley trek due to the bridge closure, the journey itself was still well worth making. From the stunning turquoise waters of Lakes Tekapo and Pukaki to the breathtaking views of Aoraki, Mount Cook and Mueller Lake, we experienced some of New Zealand's most spectacular alpine scenery. Maybe missing out on the floating iceberg and Hooker Lake is a perfect reason to come back again, and we'll make it an overnight trip at Mount Cook next time. It would be great if you can give us feedback on this new format in the comments. Thanks! In the next installment, you will see some of the attractions of Lake Tekapo. From the beautiful view and landscapes of Tekapo to the dark skies of the Dark Sky Reserve. We really hope that you can join us. Like, subscribe, and comment.